These are the plaintiffs, Dorothy and Drew Brown. Dorothy says she and her son Drew bought a 2001 VW Jetta from the defendant, and it was advertised as being in super mint condition. Super mint condition? Ha! Drew toiled and slaved on a goat farm and at a restaurant to save enough for this car. And for him to be ripped off like this is a disgrace. They're suing the defendant for false advertising and car repairs and want their $3,284.67 back. This is the defendant, Anthony Dorch. He says the plaintiffs never called him about the car or any problems they were having with it until months and months later. Let's be realistic. If you buy a pair of shoes and 8 months later the soles fall off, you can't return them and get your money back. He's accused of false representation.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiffs say Drew bought a car, a VW Jetta, from the defendant that was supposedly in super mint condition, and it was anything but. The defendant says the plaintiffs didn't complain for months. It's the case of cool your Jetta.
You're welcome.
Dorothy and Drew Brown?
Yes.
You are suing Anthony Dorch?
Yes.
For $3,284.67 that you say he owes you for things that have gone wrong with the car that you bought from him. Tell me what's going on.
My son answered an ad on September 4th, 2011.
Why don't you tell me that part since it's yours? How old are you?
I'm 18 now. I was 17 when I was going to get when I answered the ad.
This was your first car?
Yeah, I just really wanted a car.
You were buying it with your money or
yeah,
mom's?
it was my money.
How'd you make the money?
I worked on a goat farm all summer.
Okay. Slaved on a goat farm. It sounded perfectly medieval in the complaint. Yeah. He was a slave on a goat farm. Okay.
And also a cook at the goat farm. It's kind of a cool little gig. But
okay.
I found the ad on Craigslist. I was looking for a really long time for a car, and I saw this, and it said it had a new timing belt, which was the main reason I was looking at it, because that's a huge cost. 156,000 miles, and I thought everything was just good with it. So I called him up that night. He said that he had someone else.
What year car was this?
It's 2001.
Let me see the ad. This is the actual ad that you responded to?
Yeah.
All right. 2001 Volkswagen Jetta. 5-speed black, 1.8T. What does that mean?
This is a 1.8 liter engine with a turbo.
Oh, so it's souped up.
Yeah, it is.
It was pretty.
It was.
It was pretty. With black leather, 156,000 miles. Power sunroof, everything, sunroof. Power everything, sunroof, super mint. New timing belt, water pump, tensioner, tune-up, clean title in hand, blah, 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 Anthony. Okay? And so you go see the car and you like it.
Yep.
Do you take it for an inspection to your mechanic?
We put a down payment on the car when we went down there. We drove from New Haven that night. We took it for a test drive, and it drove really nicely, so we put down a $100 down payment on it, and what's the date? We drove it up to us.
I'm thinking it was the 8th or the 9th.
The 8th or the 9th, and we went down the 6th, I think. And drove it up to us. We paid him the rest of the money. And
so what's the answer to my question? Did you guys have it inspected by a mechanic before buying an 11-year-old car?
Not before we purchased.
Not before you purchased
No.
it? Oh, did you have it done after you purchased?
I did.
Oh, a post-purchase inspection. That's how you call it in the complaint, right? What's the point of a post-purchase? It's like having a headache, waiting until it's over, and then taking some aspirin.
You're absolutely right.
I mean, it's his first car.
Yeah,
it's not your. Hold on. It's not your first car.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Good. This is what he relies on you for.
I know.
All right. So, in any event, tell me about the whole timing belt thing. Did you guys discuss with him anything about the timing belt?
Well, we just assumed that it was a new timing belt,
Right.
like I said in the ad.
Did he give you paperwork on it, like where he'd done it and everything?
He said
He works at a mechanic shop there.
And so he tells you the timing belt has been repaired, but he doesn't have paperwork on it.
Right, because he did the work himself.
Because he did the work himself. So you then finally, after you've had the car for how long?
About a month.
Take it into the mechanic. And what possesses you to take it into the mechanic a month after you buy it?
I wanted to make sure everything was all right running with it.
Really? That's still nagging at you?
Well,
a month later? Okay, so then a month later, you want it all looked at, and then somebody tells you this car needs $3,200 worth of work. But there was nothing wrong with the car, right? You were happy.
Mostly there was definitely some stuff wrong with the car, but it was just minor stuff that any used car would have.
Right, but it's $3,200 worth of
Well,
stuff.
they called me and they said, you're not going to believe this. Because I showed them the ad, what we had done, and what was supposed to have been done. And it came back that there was a piece of wood wedged to hold the timing belt tensioner. The upper timing belt cover was missing.
Did they happen to take pictures?
Yeah, they did on a cell phone.
Oh my gosh!
Our
I was saying there's no
mechanic
way.
sent it to us.
I've got to see that.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, this is
I'll give it a picture.
that's the first inspection.
All right, this explaining all.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, the picture's close up, but how big is the piece of wood? Is it just a little splint? Is it what is it?
A couple inches.
How
I didn't
big?
see
You guys
the
didn't
wood.
see it? Okay.
No.
Piece of wood wedged to hold the timing belt tensioner. Upper timing cover missing. Left rear calipers frozen. Coil springs have been cut. Did they give you an estimate on what work would cost?
Yes. Well, the first thing I did was I had the timing belt.
Oh, you
taken
actually
care
did
of.
that work?
I did that work.
Okay,
yes.
what'd that cost you?
That cost me $1,195.88.
Okay, and do you have proof of that?
I do.
Okay. Okay, but part of this is work that doesn't have to do with the timing belt, right? The bottom part, it says backup lights, found the connector terminal broken, replaced terminals, pigtails. I don't even know what that is. Confirmed. What are pigtails? Aren't you a mechanic?
No, I'm not a mechanic.
Oh, why did she?
I'm a tow truck driver. I'm not a mechanic.
Tow truck driver. Okay. Confirmed lights are working. No, but that part of it doesn't have anything to do with it. Did you see this?
I did. I did
Not
I didn't-
carefully? Okay, I'll give it back to you so you can
No,
see
that's
what I'm
okay. I
talking-
believe you.
Okay. So what's going on? She says that she has a couple things. Number one, there's a bunch of other stuff that needs doing, so let me see that.
I have that.
So the car's a piece of garbage. And number two, even though he's driving it and he sort of likes it, and number two, the business about the timing belt was sort of maybe you shouldn't be fixing your own timing belt
I
because
didn't
you're
fix
putting
my
a
own
wedge.
timing belt. I sent
Who
it to,
fixed it with
to a
wood
mechanic.
there?
I sent it to a mechanic. I didn't send it there. I work at a tow yard where they came to see the car at. Nobody said I fixed
Did you
the car.
have a mechanic
Yes,
change
I did.
the timing belt?
Yes, I
That's
did.
important because you're advertising the car as having a brand new timing belt, which is an expensive piece.
Exactly. But
Right.
if I could check the
So
timing
can
belt,
Can I see the paperwork?
I don't have paperwork
Why not?
because I got it done by a neighborhood mechanic.
An alley mechanic.
Yeah, basically. And if I knew the car had
Well,
a piece of
apparently
wedge,
got what you paid
listen,
for, pal, because there's a piece of wood wedge in the.
Listen, if I knew the car had a piece of wood wedged in the timing belt tension, I wouldn't have drove it 66 miles knowing that I can mess up the motor for one.
Right. Because you drove it over to them.
Yeah, 66 miles.
And why did you do that?
Because the car was registered in my name, so they wouldn't have to pay the toll. They're already paying $3,800 for the car.
Right. Well, that was nice of you.
Yeah, my friend had to go up that way anyway, so he brought me back from.
Okay, so the plaintiffs say that this was supposedly in supermint condition. Is supermint a warranty?
Absolutely, yeah, it's a warranty.
Why?
It means that it's in great condition, so it needs to be in great condition.
Does it really?
Oh, absolutely not. It's just a general description of the vehicle.
So you're going to be the tiebreaker.
I think anyone can say anything. I just supposedly had a world famous hamburger that wasn't the best I've ever had.
Fair, and you didn't get your money back.
No, I did not.
There you go. Going inside the courtroom.
All right. Well, let me tell you a couple things, okay? The sale of a car is an as-is sale. Sale of a used car is an as-is sale. When you buy a car from a private party, because you did buy it from a private party, you didn't buy it from a repair shop or a tow shop or anything else. You bought it from this private party who is not a dealer in the sense of how many cars he sells. It's his car. The title had been in his name, right?
Yes.
All right. It's an as-is sale unless it's stated otherwise. Do you have a bill of sale? Mom.
It's probably this car.
Mom. Oh, no, but you have one in the
Yeah,
sale.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. If there's no specific warranty, do you have a copy of the bill of sale?
No, I don't.
Okay. Then it's just, make sure you inspect the car before you buy it. You have a specific warranty in the sense that you've got an advertisement that says it's got a brand new timing belt. And then as it turns out, not so much because you just forked over almost $1,000 getting a new timing belt. And there was a piece of wood wedged on the tensioner. If you were to be able to show me, which you've already told me it was an alley mechanic, it wasn't like a real, some proof that hey, I can't help it if my mechanic isn't excellent and if something, that'd be one, look, Judge, I didn't lie. Someone could defend themselves in this situation as follows. Look, Judge, here's my paperwork. I did have a new timing belt. This is the place I did it at. If she had called me, all they would have had to do is take it there. I'm sure they would warranty their work. But You sell the car telling them there's a new timing belt, and then as it turns out, it's an alley mechanic who shoves a piece of wood there. And that's not what you advertised it as.
All right, but I paid to get the timing belt done.
What'd you pay?
If I could see to get that done, if I could see that there was a piece of wedgewood, I would have did it myself. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, maybe you did do it yourself.
All right.
I don't know. You can't provide any proof of how it was done. I know it was done in a really shabby manner because I've actually got a mechanic who is so on the ball he takes a picture of it because he's never seen anything like it. Thinks it's funny, actually. It's funny if it's not his first car. Now that the timing belt was taken care of, I know there's other issues that they say needs taken care of. Those are on you. Timing belt isn't on you. And but how do you like in the car? It's your first car. I want you to like it. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's
a lot of fun?
5-speed. Yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to remove from the bill the part that has to do with lights because, again, anything else wrong with the car, it's buyer beware. But I am going to award you the sum of $1,112.12 because he's unable to prove that the claim that he actually got a new timing belt is correct, given the evidence that I'm looking at and the fact that you paid for one not 1 month, 2 months later, right? So verdict for the plaintiff, $1,112.12.
Well, as is sale is one thing, but sticking by what you advertised is something else. You okay with this verdict?
I don't got no choice but to be okay with it.
Yeah, you understand?
I had a mechanic look at it, fix it. He did what he did.
Did he use the curb as a jack?
I don't know what he did.
In the neighborhood there? Oh, you didn't see him while he was working? Why, are you mad at that guy?
Yeah,
Are you going to go back to him?
Yeah,
what are you going to say?
Definitely.
What are you going to say when you go back there?
Can't talk about that.
All right. Okay, right this way, okay? All right, right down there. All right, so come on in here, Mom and plaintiff. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
I'm happy it's over with. I don't know. Got the money for the time belt, which is a good thing.
Okay, good job getting the car inspected after you bought it. What'd you learn?
Don't be so eager for your first car. Take your time with these things. I mean, money's money.
Think you should get it inspected before you buy it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Harvey?
So when you buy a used car, you really should hone in on the warranty for the specific parts that could be really expensive if they go wrong. At least try to nail the seller down, get a warranty on those items. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.